Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of my What's on my home screen video. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, I recommend doing so. I'll put a link right here. So let's get into it. Alright, so last time we looked at the first 2 rows of my home screen, so let's start with row 3. First app on this row is Videos. So Videos has movies, TV shows, and music videos from iTunes. To be honest, I really only use the TV shows. In your iTunes settings, you can actually have unwatched episodes of certain TV shows, movies, just get synced automatically to your phone, and that way, if you have season passes to stuff, you can just have them download in the background, get transferred seamlessly to your phone, and then the next time you're on the go and you have a free minute and you want to catch up, they're right on your disc waiting for you. Next up is Uber. Uber is a popular ride-sharing app. I live in New York City, and I can't tell you how many times I've been on a street corner at 5 p.m. right at the peak of rush hour trying to get a cab with my hand out, and I've just realized that there are 10 people standing around me trying to do this exact same thing, and there's no way I'm gonna be able to get a cab. Now, Uber isn't perfect, but it's a way around that problem, and during those peak hours, they're going to have surge pricing. It's going to be more expensive, but it's good to have that option available. And it's always nice to know that you're not stuck, that if you need to get somewhere, you can. Next up is an app called Touch of Modern. Now basically what this is an online store that curates apparel, accessories, and home decor with a modern feel. Now items cycle through this, so I like to check in every once in a while, and I found a number of cool items on here that I've ended up ordering, so that's why it's on the front page. I like to remind myself to go and check in and to see if there's anything worth ordering. Next up is Beam. Beam is one of the newer social networking apps, and it is on here because I'm giving it a shot. I want to see if it's different enough from Snapchat, if there are enough people using it, if I really buy the whole be more authentic with your social network thing. There are parts of Beam that make me really excited, that make me want to give it its fair chance, and that's why it's on here, so that I use it more. Moving down to row 4, we have Crunchyroll. Now, if you're a fan of anime, Crunchyroll is probably something you're familiar with. It's probably the best way to consume and stream anime on mobile devices. The premium version even lets you simulcast episodes in their Japanese dub as soon as they're available in Japan, which is pretty cool. The thing I like most about this app is that it's very well made. Everything syncs perfectly between devices, so you can pause it on your Apple TV and then pick up your iPhone, go to a restaurant or something, and then just start watching it right where you left off. It works very well that way. Next on my homepage is Apple News. Now, Apple launched its native news app earlier this year, and I was really excited about it at the time, but to be honest, I'm becoming a little bit disillusioned. The idea was really, really great. I really liked the idea of having one place where you could go and get your news that was aggregated from all of its different sources, and it would be intelligent and just give you the news that you want to see. But the more I use it, the more I'm not too excited about it. I don't really like the timeline view. It's not very visually appealing, and I don't feel like it knows me that well. I cycle through all of these news stories, and I struggle to find ones that really pique my interest, which is a shame. News is on here because it's still relatively new, and I want to give it its fair shot, but to be honest, it might be losing its spot in the near future. Next up, we have the Apple native Maps app. Now, for a long time, I was using Google Maps as my daily navigation app, but earlier this year, the Apple native Maps app added public transportation for New York City, and that means it can tell me which trains to take. And that's something Google Maps could already do for a long time, but with this new added public transportation implementation to Maps, I wanted to give the native app another try, and that's why it's on here, and to be honest, it hasn't disappointed me yet. So moving on to the last app in this row, we have Periscope. Now, Periscope is one of my favorite apps. It even made it into my top 5 free iOS apps video, which you can check out here if you like. Periscope is a live streaming app. I've used it a few times myself to live stream when I'm preparing to make these videos, but more often than that, I enjoy following my favorite content creators on Periscope, seeing them in this different, more spontaneous, more interactive environment than YouTube or Twitch, and engaging with them in that way. I think it has a lot of potential. I think it's going to get monetized and potentially is going to get worse when it does. But at the moment, I'm enjoying Periscope quite a bit. So I'm gonna stop this part here. We have 8 apps to go. But for right now, I wanna hear what you think. Please let me know in the comments below. And if this is the first video of mine that you're watching, please consider subscribing, and I will keep you up to date with all sorts of new fun stuff. Thanks so much, guys, and I'll see you next time.